And I seriously mean this. Anybody who I think listens to a talk show for advice, for anything intelligent-wise, really should read a book and take a glass of wine and just go to bed.
Now, we all know Rick never really means what he's talking about, except maybe in this case.
Except maybe in this case. He didn't want anybody listening to talk radio this week, that's for sure.
Hey, welcome to the Red and Blue Review. Despite Coach Pitino's urgings, stay with us. We will make it worth your while. We're talking U of L and Kentucky basketball with this guy, Darryl Bird of the Cat's Paws. A lot happened on Planet Red while you were distracted on Planet Blue.
No kidding. I'm looking and I'm seeing Providence. I'm like, wow, really? Providence? Are you kidding me? So now, I mean, on a serious side, they better get this fixed or they'll be scrambling for the NIT before this thing is over. If maybe NIT, please let us in at this point. That was bad.
And Howie has just come out of his bunker.
I have.
Just pulled the helmet off his head. He's got to take on Planet Blue.
Got a little bit of helmet hair still. You know, Louisville had a nice run of basketball, but that was the last game of the program. We canceled everything else. The rest of the season
was 1986.
Oh, come on. No, there's still a season to be played, but boy, Louisville's got a long way to go, as evidenced in that Providence game.
We are just getting started with the lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Corner. You see the locations in Paducah and Clarksville, and on your corner at KentuckyCornerOnline.com. Well, what's hot at the University of Kentucky? The Cats still rolling. They've only lost once during this basketball season, and Cal says he wants this team to dare to be great, to take those expectations that everyone has of Kentucky basketball, grab them, and achieve them.
I don't like fine. I don't like good. That's our enemy. You know, good's an enemy. You don't want to be good. Why don't you try to be great? Well, how do I be great? Well, one is do the things you're capable of doing every day, in practice, in every game. You come out with a mentality, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to work on areas that I know that are holding me back from being great. And I'm going to do those things. And that's not just for him, that's for every player out there.
And not a bad way to start. Actually, the bite started about a question about Darius Miller being up and down, and he's like, well, Darius is good, but don't be good, be great. And he put it to every player on the team as well he should. If everybody will take care of their individual business, as Deron Lamb did in the game at Auburn, then things start to get better, the team will get better, and you start to blend, and then you can really take off in early February on into March.
A couple of good moments for Darius in that win over Auburn. That shot he hit right at the buzzer at the end of the half. A key play for him. Who's hot at the University of Louisville is football. Yeah. It's that bad when you get blown by 31 by Providence. Howie, the guys from Cardinalville ranked in the top 25 on 3 different polls already.
How about that? Those early season polls, and Louisville is in the top 25, and I think with good reason. They've got 18 starters coming back. They may or may not have West Virginia to contend with, depending on how lawsuits go. So Louisville might be the best team in the Big East next year, and even if West Virginia does come back, Louisville will give them a challenge. Earned a top 25 ranking for next year already.
What's not hot for the University of Kentucky could be the Wildcats if they start backsliding on the progress they've already made. And one of the key components of that is once you've kind of started to get a little better, Terrence Jones, don't backslide.
You know, guys don't want to slide back to where they were and that kind of stuff. You want to build on it, and I think he understood it. And you know, he was good yesterday. Shooting the ball better. I mean, he's more confident. And I'm not talking threes. I'm talking those 8, 9, 10 footers that he can make. You know, baskets around the basket place, going and getting rebounds with 2 hands, and he's talking more. You know, he's more confident. You don't, when you're scared to death, you're like this. You're not out there, okay, let's go, you got it. You're not, no.
I don't know what that was at the end.
That was Jerry Lewis.
It was entertaining, to say the least. Isn't it amazing what humility will do for you if you allow it to happen? Terrence Jones started so well this season and had that disaster at Indiana, and it took him a while to come back from that to get his confidence back, and he's been playing well since. Deron Lamb had kind of fallen into that, played really well at Auburn, practically won the game for him, a lot of people say. So you learn from it, you improve, and then as Cal said, you never, ever want to go back to that. And hopefully you have the experience to say, maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was. Here's how I stay better, and I keep getting better.
Remember those days of Patino's Bombinos? Well, it's certainly not three-point land now for this version of Rick's basketball team, the Louisville Cardinals, and that's what's not hot, the three-point threats. Rick says there's only 2.5 guys really getting it done, Couric and the 2 Smith guys, and that, according to the coach, is not enough.
I've known our problems from day one. I've said it from day one. We were going to miss Preston's shooting. There was no question about it. But we are concentrating on developing more of an inside attack to develop that. We're not quite the three-point threat that we once were, but you have to change.
You know, he's right. He certainly is right. Louisville doesn't have enough shooters. I think part of that is Mara sitting on the bench and Wayne Blackshear sitting on the bench. But I think my trouble with this clip is 2 years ago he said the same thing. And 2 years ago he said, we've got to recruit shooters. Everybody we recruit from now on has to be a shooter. You got to have more shooters. I mean, you got to have more than 2.5 shooters. I understand Wayne Blackshear's out. I understand Mike Mara's out. But you got to have more than that.
But wait a second. Mike Mara is not going to rescue this team. I mean, honestly, throwing Mara in with that bunch, and he's been one of the most inconsistent three-point shooters, especially for a guy that Rick said was the best three-point shooter in high school he's ever seen.
That's the worst thing to ever happen to him, is Rick Pitino saying he's the best ever. He hit 45 threes last year. Wayne Blackshear is an outside threat and can drive. I'm not saying they would solve all the problems, but it'd solve some of them. You've had at least another extra shooter.
The buzz at Kentucky was almost a loss on the road at Auburn. Honestly, with 10 minutes to go in that game, it looked like the loveliest village on the plains was going to get kind of ugly for the Wildcats. They did not lose that one, but Cal says, brace yourself, this team is going to lose some.
I told them, let's just worry about getting better every day. The winning will take care of itself, and if we lose a couple, we lose a couple. It's not football. It's not, okay, we just lost the national title in January. It's not happening. So we just need to get better. I like my team. I like what we do defensively. We're getting better offensively. We haven't played with 6 cylinders, 7 cylinders running. We've been on 2 and 3 just about every game we've played. So we're still learning and trying to get to where we.
He is right. This team is nowhere near it. And I like the cylinders because they haven't come close hitting on all cylinders yet, and they're still sitting at 16-1. But to tell the Big Blue Nation we're going to lose, the horror. How dare you say that, because we're going to go undefeated every single year. And he's not bracing, he's just facing the fact that it's tough to play on the SEC on the road, and as it almost proved against Auburn, they almost got them. And that's an Auburn team that scored 35 points in a loss at Vanderbilt, but when you go into the other person's environment, they sell out, they're nuts, and it just makes a big difference. So get ready for some losses, like it or not.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the hazards of being on the road in our next segment. What's wrong with University of Louisville? That's really the buzz right now with the Cards, especially what's wrong with Peyton Siva?
Prior to him getting hurt, this summer when we went to the Bahamas and in the fall, he was playing lights out. He was unguardable. And then he had a real serious ankle injury and a concussion on top of it. So he hasn't come back to that stage yet. Now, I see glimpses of him coming back. Not in the last game, but I see it in practice. And I think he'll make that comeback as good as ever. And I think you'll see a much different basketball team when he does come back.
I do think Peyton Siva is still hurt. I think that's part of the problem. I think the other part of the problem is attitude. In that Providence game, he just looked like he was not having a good time. He wasn't passing the ball effectively, wasn't shooting the ball effectively. He took a couple shots that were very ill-advised. He was trying things that really aren't part of his game. And then, he gets in foul trouble. His last foul, Doris Burke may have said it best. I mean, she said, that looks like a foul of somebody who just doesn't want to play anymore. Yeah. Now, that's a really harsh indictment, if true. And he did. He just kind of, right there, he just winged at the guy and ran right into him for that 5th foul. Now, hopefully that was an accident. Hopefully it wasn't him saying, 11 minutes left, I'm done with this game. But, boy, that last look said it all. He was done with that game. He wanted out of there. I think Louisville wanted out of there. Rick Pitino wanted out of there. That game was an absolute train wreck from start to beginning.
Yeah, but one of the things I thought was a little disingenuous was the fact that Rick said something to the effect of, well, you're going to have one of those games every now and then. They've been having one of those games since the Kentucky game. I mean, it's
just 2 games. I mean, it's Notre Dame in this one.
But the Kentucky game as well. I mean, you got a team there that barely broke 60, right, in the Kentucky game?
In my opinion, I think Kentucky's one of the best defensive teams in the country. So I wouldn't count that as an awful performance. I think Notre Dame was bad.
You have one guy that scored in double figures.
Right, certainly.
So what I'm saying is I don't think this is and I know people are saying it's an aberration. It feels like this may be what the Louisville team is, based on what we've seen.
They're not 30 points worse than Providence. I mean, that's the reason people are saying it's aberration.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not. They're going to come back. They're probably going to win 7 or 8 games. They're not going to be the top 10 team that I think everybody thought they were.
Yeah. Let's go through our red and blue crew, some takes. Howie, I want to get your take on. Michael Church says, Russ Smith, this is on our Facebook page, Russ Smith, the epitome of a ball hog. Rick sings his praises. No wonder Siva and the others aren't clicking.
Michael Church is extremely misguided. Russ Smith is criticized every single press conference, every single one, for not passing more, for being a ball hog. If anything, people are, people in the know are saying he's criticized too much. Why are you criticizing Russ? He's the guy scoring all your points.
Gary Habermas, enough time has passed to see that the problem is not the players, Rick. Thanks for coming to Louisville and recommending Brad Stevens for the job. He should be your next big recruit.
Whew, that is tough. That is tough. He's saying replace Rick Pitino with Brad Stevens. I tell you, the level of fan frustration right now with Rick Pitino is at the highest point that I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And it's just been all over the message boards, all over talk radio.
Yeah.
I mean, people are extremely frustrated.
And the final one is this from Kenneth Monfort of Louisville. UK looks to be the more experienced and confident team, and they're going to get better as the season goes on. Louisville looks lost and very confused.
Yeah, Louisville looks very confused and very sad. It's a tough situation they're in, and don't want to sound like all the UK guys blasting them. If they don't get this fixed quick, this season could slide out of control in a hurry.
It really could. I mean, you look at the rest of their schedule. They've got 14 Big East games.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to win 8 of them. They have to. And you look at those 14 games, 8 won't be easy.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to win 8 to get the tournament.
Hey, love to get you involved on Planet Red and Planet Blue through Special Olympics of Kentucky, and you can go to our Red and Blue Plunge Challenge. Click on that, go to SOKY.org. If you're a Card fan, donate to Howie. If you're a Cat fan, donate to Daryl. And these guys are going to take the plunge for Special Olympics coming up in February. And if you want to get involved, form your own team, go to SOK.org to do the same. When we come back, we'll tell you about a college basketball player who watches the same movie just about every day. But first, Daryl's going to tell us about a Cat's Paws that's different every week.
I appreciate it, sir. Cats win SEC opener is the title on the newest edition. Of course, now they are 2-0, heading to Tennessee, looking to be 3-0. That'll be a very tough challenge we'll talk about after the break, going on the road again. But 35 issues per year mailed directly to your doorstep. 800-641-3302.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
I am not going in there.
I'm not going in there either, and you can't make me. You can't make me.
Daryl can't make Howie take the polar plunge, but you can. Hi, I'm Gary Gupton, the president of Special Olympics Kentucky. Card fans, wouldn't you love to see Daryl in his Kentucky blue bobbing up and down in this freezing cold water? Then go to SOKY.org, click the red and blue plunge button, make a tax-deductible gift to Special Olympics Kentucky, and then enjoy watching Daryl getting his at the polar plunge.
I'm Teresa Bachman with the exciting new force in the midsize car market. The new Passat has arrived at Bachman Volkswagen. It's a new force in safety, premium features, and fuel economy, and it's exclusively for everyone at Bachman Volkswagen. The redesigned Passat is premium without a premium price. They're in stock at Bachman Volkswagen, your #1 Volkswagen dealer. The force is strong with this one.
Bachman makes a difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
What Makes a Champion brought to you by the Ali Center, and Jeannie Conkey says one of the champ's core values is dedication.
Muhammad Ali once said that champions aren't made in gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them, a desire, a dream, a vision. What makes a champion? Dedication. Come learn more at the Ali Center.
The things that makes Michael Kidd Gilchrist a champion is his dedication to watching The Lion King every day.
That dude loves Lion King.
I know.
He loves Lion King. He watch it every night.
You have to watch it every night?
Yeah. Sometimes I just get on Netflix and just watch a movie, put my headphones on. But it's so hard to not look at the TV, see Lion King. So.
But you understand why, so.
Yeah.
He does, and to this day he still does. He's done it for years and years and years. And the story, if you know Michael Kidd Gilchrist's story of his father being shot and killed when he was only 3 or 4 years old, is that he can remember watching it with his dad, and so he's kind of kept that up as an honor to his father. He's going to watch this every day, and it inspires him. And he said he sees that Lion King story as a reflection of his own story. His father dies, he has to go away and become a man and come back later, which is what he says I'm in the process of doing right now. I'm going out, I'm going to get to the NBA, I'm going to make something of my life, and then I can go back, take care of mom and the rest.
One of the most impressive college kids I've ever seen. It really is amazing what this kid's doing. A lot of stuff to get to, talking about playing on the road and trying to fix what's going on at Louisville. All topics will hit in our Game Time storylines.
I don't like good. That's our enemy. Good's an enemy. You don't want to be good. Why don't you try to be great?
I think he's talking to you.
Yeah, he sure is. Hey, Kentucky was good against Auburn, and good just about got them beat. They had to be great in the last 10 minutes to pull that thing out, and that's the thing that the Cats have going for them this year. When they hit the road, they've got almost everything to their advantage except in the area of experience.
Yeah, have really good players, and preferably veteran players who are really good, but have really good players, and you can win on the road. Just harder because when the stuff hits the fan, those guys get how to calm the waters. It speeds up young kids. I got to score now, or this guy's coming at me, so I got to go at him, and all of a sudden we're down 10 because you're in a one-on-one battle because you don't get what's going on here, and that's a young kid. But hopefully we get enough veterans out there to go along with the young players we have.
Okay, class, let's review the Auburn game. How did Kentucky come back and win late? Darius Miller hit a huge shot. Deron Lamb started playing well, made a lot of huge plays down the end, and then the younger guys followed suit. Anthony Davis had a couple of nice tip-ins, but it was the older guys who said, okay, now it's go time. This is where you can see that it's time to go make the run and put this team away, and the old guys did it.
And they started getting some rebounds, too.
Yeah,
they were just
that
getting crashed on the board.
The effort at the start was pitiful.
Yeah. One of the things going on for Louisville, now that they've started Big East play, they've lost to Georgetown, Providence, Notre Dame. But remember, this is only the beginning of the season. As Rick will tell you, this is a long marathon.
I think this is going to be, with the exception of Syracuse, a marathon for a lot of teams. And we're going to play moving chairs throughout the season, and this will be as a lot of people always use the adage, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and this definitely will be that.
It definitely will be a marathon. The trouble is that Louisville just fell out of the starting gate and may have an upset stomach. So that's the problem. You got to fix a couple things, eat a bagel or two or something. I don't know. You got a long way to go on this marathon. The problem with the Big East right now is that they're one great team in Syracuse, one really good team in Connecticut, and then 12 good teams. 12 teams that could beat each other. And Louisville is part of that 12. Most people I thought that Louisville was going to be one of those really good teams. Turns out they're just one of the good teams, good teams with one of the 12, which means it's going to be a battle. They're just going to fight and fight and fight every single game.
Well, Kentucky's going to have to fight certainly every time they go on the road. They are literally getting the best effort. Listen, that's an Auburn team that nearly beat Kentucky, that had lost their last 2 games by combined 50 points. But they got the best out of Auburn, and one of the things Kentucky's going to have to figure out how to do is to take the home team out of the game. And Marcus Teague's going to be a big key to that by how he moves the basketball.
No, it's just things you got to understand how you take the crowd out of games. There are times when you speed up and there are times when you pull back, just based on where the game's going, the momentum of the game. There's times when you grind it out and there's times where you keep attacking because you got them on their heels. And that's something that he'll have to learn, and that's why we're probably doing more coaching from the side than we need to do, because we're trying to help him.
As close as they came to losing the game at Auburn, I really think Kentucky and Marcus Teague caught a break in opening with Auburn, because Saturday they get to go to Tennessee. And Tennessee is going to be a whole lot like it was going up to Indiana. And it's going to be even worse than the Auburn crowd was as far as being all over you. And hopefully Marcus Teague and the other rookies have learned enough from the IU trip and then how to survive and pull ahead and win Auburn kind of going away in the final stretches, that they can apply that to Tennessee, because that's going to be a tough. They just took out Florida at Thompson Bowling, and you know they're going to be ready for Kentucky.
We come back, we'll talk about what needs fixing as the Cards continue their quest to roll through the Big East. As we head to the break, let's talk to Howie, who's going to tell us about CardinalSports.com.
You got it. If you want to take your mind off basketball, we've got that. We've got some football recruiting news. Football recruiting news is going extremely well, so check out CardinalSports.com for all the videos and updates about football that you can possibly imagine. We do cover basketball as well, if you want to put yourself through that.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
I am not going in there. I'm not going in there either, and you can't make me. You can't make me.
Daryl can't make Howie take the polar plunge, but you can. Hi, I'm Gary Gupton, the president of Special Olympics Kentucky. Card fans, wouldn't you love to see Daryl in his Kentucky blue bobbing up and down in this freezing cold water? Then go to SOKY.org, click the red and blue plunge button, make a tax-deductible gift to Special Olympics Kentucky, and then enjoy watching Daryl getting his at the polar plunge.
I'm Teresa Bachman with the exciting new force in the midsize car market. The new Passat has arrived at Bachman Volkswagen. It's a new force in safety, premium features, and fuel economy, and it's exclusively for everyone at Bachman Volkswagen. The redesigned Passat is premium without a premium price. They're in stock at Bachman Volkswagen, your #1 Volkswagen dealer. The force is strong with this one.
Bachman makes a difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner Online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
What needs fixing on the Red and Blue Review? Brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvements.
What needs fixing from the SEC Kentucky perspective is the fact that this football conference needs a little bit of Aretha Franklin when it comes to basketball.
What happens in our league is, they do the media-driven stuff that when one league loses games on the road, it's a good loss. When we lose on the road, our league, what a bad loss. What? It's hard to win on the road in any league. The good news is that one team took a spill because the big guy was out. The other team took a spill, they had a bad game. You have bad games, this stuff happens. But at the end of the day, those teams, they all have the talent to do something special. So this league is hard. This is not an easy league.
It'd be easy to dismiss that at all. Yeah, Calipari, you're just trying to build up the season coming in. And then you see how Auburn played against them. Yeah. Wow, they really brought it last night and played out of their minds, and most teams will. But that's just the way the league is. The league is so good in football that you tend to overlook basketball and the Big East will say we're the best. And the SEC's got some pretty good teams and a lot of talent that really shows up when Kentucky comes to town. That's the Wildcats' problem.
Well, Florida looks pretty good. Georgia's dreadful. Not sure about Tennessee. It'll all met itself out. But like Cal says, when Kentucky's coming in the house, they're
all top 25 teams when UK comes in.
That's exactly right. Well, it needs fixing at the University of Louisville is the officiating. Gorgie's been sidelined way too much over the last 3 or 4 games with foul trouble. And Rick says a little bit questionable calls when it comes to the big kid from the Senegal.
Referee put Gorky in a bed. The second foul was a phantom touch call in the game, and now he's got to sit. And that's my problem with officiating, especially in the Big East. They let so many things go, and if you look at the second foul, I don't know if you guys probably don't, some of you do who work in the studio, you look and you say, now you're going to put him on the bench for that. And I just hate that more than anything. I can live with a bad block charge call. I could live with there was a push in the back late in the game and they scored. I could live with that. I just really, really hate the touch foul that puts somebody on the bench, whether it's your point guard or your center, and he has to sit the whole half because of a touch foul that wasn't even a foul.
Hey, I agree with him in this. It seems like for the Big East officials, anything that happens in that darkened area that we all call the paint apparently doesn't happen to them. They let those guys just absolutely brutalize each other. Elbows to the head and push each other around, all that kind of thing. And then anything out in the rest of the thing, it's a touch foul, and they're going to call it immediately.
Howie, only about 10 seconds. Is there a chemistry problem on this team?
I do think there is. There has to be a team meeting. They've got to get this thing fixed.
Well, we're going to have a team meeting, and we're going to decide what we're going to cover this weekend, but we're pretty sure it's going to be involving red and blue. See you then. The Red and Blue Review has been brought to you by PNC Bank, Kentucky Corner, Allstate Ford Truck Sales, and the Muhammad Ali Center.
I am not going in there. I'm not going in there either, and you can't make me. You can't make me.
Daryl can't make Howie take the polar plunge, but you can. Hi, I'm Gary Gupton, the president of Special Olympics Kentucky. UK fans, wouldn't you love to see Howie in his cardinal red colors bobbing up and down in this freezing cold water? Then go to SOKY.org, click the red and blue plunge button, make a tax-deductible gift to Special Olympics Kentucky, and enjoy watching Howie getting his